Hello and welcome to the Fixing Football podcast. We are back after a short break and I'm here with Luke Foley. Luke, how are you, mate?
I'm alright, mate. How are you?
I'm good. Nice breakaway. Everything was good. You was away. How was your trip?
It was interesting. Obviously, I think the little one's a bit too young for centre parks, so it was definitely a place for someone where he's a bit older. But yeah, it was a good breakaway. I got to go run around the Lake District, which Chloe weren't too happy about leaving the family. So, but
It's got to be done. I tried to have a little golfing day, but I got sunburnt on the first day, so I was out of action pretty much till the end of the holiday. I
because
couldn't.
he was sun dodging.
Yeah, all the time, and I'm peeling. But that's the life of a fair-skinned child. No Liam tonight. He is recovering. He's had some time away himself. Do you know them retreats you can do in Turkey?
Yeah,
You can go and get like your hair and your teeth done. Well, he's sort of. I don't think he'll mind me sharing, but he's sort of had like that done. But he's in Butlins in Southport recovering. So I don't really know what he's had done, to be honest. So I guess we'll just see on the next episode. But hopefully he'll be fine. Did you catch the last episode? Because you weren't on it, and I actually had to mention about your procedure, and I just wondered how it had gone.
yeah, it went all fine,
Good.
all up and running.
Up and running. 6'5" Luke Foley, up and running. Class. Right, Luke, we are on the eve of the Euros.
Yes,
And even more important than the Euros, the Euro Predictor League is about to start.
it is.
This is the final call. Really, this is going to be out Friday morning, and obviously the Euros kick off on Friday evening. So if anyone else would like to join, please get in touch, subscribe to the channel, and let one of us know, and we'll be in touch, and hopefully we can get you involved beforehand, and hopefully win a bit of cash, or hopefully not, and you can send me some cash. But either way, we'll have a laugh. So this is the final call. We want to try and get as many people involved as we can. Now that'll make Luke happy, taking money off strangers, but if everyone's happy, it'll be fine.
Question for you, Martin, then. Is
Go
it
on.
still a £25 buy-in, or is it like just for us four?
I'll put the feelers out, I think, when we've got the final numbers. At the moment, there's not that many, and I think £25 is a good number. I think
Yeah.
when we start to attract the masses, maybe we reduce that. But at the moment, I think £25 is a good number. It shows that there's a lot on the line. People take it seriously then.
Yeah.
So, I mentioned in our WhatsApp group earlier about a bit of a spanner in the works.
Go on.
Something that I want to announce. So on the last episode that we was all involved with, we all set our predictions and they were locked in.
Are you going back on your lock-ins now?
I'm not, personally. But I am opening them up until kick-off tomorrow.
Interesting.
Because this gives everyone time to have a fair look at everything. So it might be a little bit unfair on us that other people have a different look at it. And if, for example, Bellingham gets injured tonight in training and he's my pick, it's unfair that it's locked in for me when some people have till Friday 8 o'clock. So, announcing that you have until 8 p.m. tomorrow to get your full selections in. All the rules are somewhere. They'll be available if you're interested in playing. But it'd be fun. So
I know a certain Henry VIII lookalike will not be happy with this.
he probably won't be. He'll be turning in his giant grave right now if he could hear this. But this is what he's going to have to do. I think it's the fairest way to do it. You've got to be fair. And if other people have got more selections, not that I'm not changing mine. I'm sticking with Bellingham and Kane. Bellingham and England.
Bellingham top goal scorer England.
Yeah. But I'm opening it up for people to change if they want to. And I'm keeping
Yeah.
with my underdog selection as well.
Can I ask you a question about England then?
One.
Because you seem very, very confident. What is bringing this confidence on?
It's, to be honest, that selection isn't out of confidence. It is about sort of double happiness if and when England win and Bellingham scores. That I get extra joy about it, and I don't have to worry about that for anyone else. Like, say England play France, and I have France selected as a win, or I have Mbappe as my top goal scorer. I don't. There isn't any percent of me that wants them to win and score, just for the sake of 100 quid or whatever it'll be.
Yeah, I can see your point.
So it's a little bit of like I always put too many Arsenal players in my fantasy team. It's
You do.
it's it's
You
it's
do.
it's the exact same reasoning behind that. There isn't logic. I'm always heart over head all the time.
And it's usually an Arsenal captain when clearly the captain of choice is Haaland.
Yeah, I didn't have. I don't even think I had Haaland in my team this year out of pure spite that everyone else did, and that's why I finished lower mid table.
Yeah.
So
So go on. So
what I'm going to
so
ask you,
go on.
you've had a few questions. Let's stay on the Predictor League for a minute.
Yeah.
A few hints that you might like to change. Who else has been catching your eye recently? What else has been tickling your fancy on potential selections for any of your changes?
I'm kind of I'm thinking of changing my winners from England to Spain. Only
That's it.
because
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Like, why? Why? What's
I feel that they've gone very under the radar, but so Spain's attacking. So Morata's not great, is it?
no?
To be honest, there's two players that I can think of that I always think, how are these top level? And that was Cavani and Morata.
Cavani.
I've never rated Cavani. I've never rated Morata, but they seem to be at top clubs. But I've just got a feeling that Spain not being talked about, and that they've got all them youngsters coming through. It's just
Might be too young. All that team. That might be the only thing.
yeah. Portugal's been
My
on my mind as well.
Portugal's been on my mind. They are really strong, sneakily strong
Yeah,
players like João Paulinho. Bernardo Silva always goes under the radar for some reason. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes, João Felix, Ronaldo seems to be fit and well at
he banged two the other
39.
night, didn't
Yeah, like as fit as ever. So they're solid, and they've got experience, and they've got youth still in the team with like Jota's in the side. I'm trying to think of they've got another guy up front. The guy who plays for PSG, whoever. They've got a good mix all over. So yes, Portugal are my sneaky ones, but I'm sticking with England, and I'm sticking with Chia and Patrick Schick as my underdog scorers because recently learned this was just luck, but recently saw Patrick Schick take a couple penalties for Czech
he?
Republic in some of the friendlies. So if they do get one, that might be a banker for a couple goals. But I'm also leaning a little bit on Serbia because their strikers are Luka Jovic,
Mitrovic.
Mitrovic, and Vlahovic for
Yeah.
Juve. So they've got great attack. So they're my other ones who I might go to, but I'm sticking. I'm out of principle. I'm sticking, but I am opening it up in the world of fairness.
Yeah, yeah. Again, I'm really thinking of Spain just because obviously they've got. Yeah, I think they've gone under the radar, and I think they've got.
In a points game, they will probably qualify from the group. So
Yeah,
that's if you're looking at it tactically, it might not be a bad shout. I think they've got a
and
good run as well.
Yeah, I'm just. Are they on the England side or are they on the Portugal side?
I don't know. I think they're on Portugal's side. I don't think we play them if we qualify first.
Yeah, I'm thinking of change to Spain,
Well,
and my only cause because tactically, again, I reckon a lot of players are going to choose England or France. So I just want to, if I want to get the most points out of this, I think
that's right.
we're gonna have to pick a team.
That's like the underdog one is a good category because everyone is it's all over the show.
Yeah,
That's usually where you could pick up some points. Let's talk about England for a minute. Preview for the big match on Sunday. So obviously the Euros kicks off tonight as this will go out. Germany v Scotland. Is there
yeah,
anyone expecting anything other than a resounding Germany win?
only Liam. Oh, actually, yeah, only Liam because
Because
he is
he's part Scottish, yeah.
part Scottish. He's the jock.
Yeah, I don't see anywhere. When Germany seemed, I don't know if Germany are in good form. They've been a bit of a mess for the last couple of years, but the squad is just so good, and it's in Germany.
Yeah,
It's There's going to be some advantage there. As rowdy and as loud as Scotland can be, I don't see anywhere through from. So let's talk about England Sunday. Title of this episode: It's coming home? Question mark. Is it? I think Sunday is probably going to be our toughest game in the group against Serbia. What are your? Let's talk about the lineup, predicted lineup. Probably, I think it's already been picked with the numbers, the squad numbers that Southgate's assigned.
so Luke Shaw's like number
Yes, Luke
3, but
Shaw's three
he's not injured. He's injured though.
and Trippier's 12. So
Hmm.
if you take him out, Trippier's the basically the next one in.
Yeah.
Is that what you would go with? So that I think the big question mark there is Trent in the middle of the park with Declan Rice and Foden on the left. Is that what you think?
No, I rate Gordon all season, and I think he has deserved a place in this team, and it gives a bit of width. And I think,
He's direct
quite,
as well.
yeah, and I'm not convinced on the Trent in midfield. I just defensively, I just don't think it's there, and I think. Okay, I think it might work in these group stages, but when we get to latter stages, I don't think Trent should be the choice of the midfield.
Well, it's that one, isn't it? And then I think it was Rooney talking about Trent today, and he's obviously of the same opinion, and I am as well. I love watching Trent play, but he isn't a right back and he isn't a midfielder. He's
No,
somewhere in the middle, and we don't have the luxury of playing this inverted system, especially when you've got Kyle Walker.
yeah,
So, unfortunately, as much as I'd like Trent in the side, he's just not. He's not. What's the word? He's almost. He plays too sexy. It's like too. His football is too cool. He's too specific in his utility for England. So what he's great at. What he's good at. He's probably the best at. But is that useful for England? And I think the answer is probably no. And would you be better working out a world where you could get Gordon in or Cole Palmer or Bellingham and Foden, give Rice some more support? I know we just talked about Trent being like a more of a sexy style footballer, but Gallagher or even Adam Wharton, someone alongside Rice who plays it simple, does the Henderson role, if you will. Whether we need someone like that.
the, I've got question marks over Saka as well. I know you don't like to hear, but I've got question. I think Palmer has had a better season, and it seems like Southgate has gone on pick the team over form, and if you go on form, who's Palmer is definitely better in form than Saka.
Yeah, not definitely. If you look at goal, there was a stat, I think it was yesterday, it was comparing Saka Saka, Foden, and Palmer, and it was like matches played, goals scored, and assists. And Saka was top of that list in terms of the ratio. I think Foden had played more games, so he's got more goals in all competitions. So Saka's top in terms of goal contributions. I think it was like 15 goals and 15 assists this season. I think Palmer's got like 22 goals and maybe 7 assists, something like that. There's not much in it. But form-wise, you can't argue with Cole Palmer. But Saka's been doing it in this England team for 4 years now. Doing it. Playing well, being one of our main players. And he hasn't let this side down. He hasn't had a bad season by any stretch.
Mm.
If honestly, when it comes to England, I hold no favouritism towards Arsenal players. I love Saka, but I don't. If Cole Palmer is the obviously better choice, or Southgate just decides to like him more for one match, or start him on Sunday instead of Saka, good on him. Like I hope Palmer scores that trick. I don't care how many Arsenal players play, as long as we win. I don't think with Saka, I don't think you can doubt his form for England and him being one of our main players. So that would be my only comeback to that. But like I say, you can't argue with Palmer's form either. So if you went with Palmer just to get Palmer in, then fair enough. What Saka does give you is a bit more like Gordon than like a Foden, where Palmer is obviously more like Foden and as an out-and-out winger. So if you wanted to play, I don't know, Bellingham, Foden, and Palmer, you're not going to have anyone running in behind Kane, who's already 20 yards behind them anyway. He's nowhere near the last man.
Well, that's my other concern. Like, I feel, and I know I've just tried to say get Palmer in the team, but it seems like we've got a lot of players playing in a certain area because Foden want to play there. Kane comes back into that area. Bellingham pushes up.
Yeah,
Rice likes to come up. They're all congesting that middle bit.
Yeah.
So I think that's a real concern. I think Gareth needs to kind of say to Kane, keep up top. You're the goal scorer. Don't be fucking dropping back.
Yes. I think we've been saying that about Kane for a long time. But at this point, at 30-year-old, as England's greatest ever goal scorer, you can't. It's like teaching an old dog new tricks here. We're not going to get. You're not going to get Kane to change his game at this point. So I just think, and I think sort of what maybe Grealish or Rashford has offered in the past is that width on the other side and that man in behind.
Yeah.
And you're right, we are lacking it. So I think in trying to get Palmer in by losing Saka, I just don't think that would be the way. And part of me thinks by the end of this competition, Southgate may have to make a decision that really rocks the boat in terms of dropping one of these bigger players, like pulling Trent out, like pulling Bellingham out if he's not done it in the first 2-3 games, like maybe dropping Foden and using him more as an impact sub. Something like that. That's all I can think that may have to happen if the performances aren't there. But other than that, I think the only other area, we've discussed 10, we've discussed midfield. The guy up top's a no-brainer. I think everyone's happy with Pickford. Let's have a quick recess and let's bring in some, I was going to say experts, but let's just bring in 2 other people and we'll get some more opinions because defence is where it's at, and also we'll make them aware of the announcement.
The big announcement.
And we're back. Me and Luke have had a quick chat in the break, and it's time to share our announcement, Luke. So it'd be good if this was on video just to get some, to see the face melting reactions. Liam, Scott, the Euro Predictor League. I'm unlocking the lock-ins until 8 p.m. tomorrow night.
What?
The decisions that we all made last week. Because, Scott, I'll tell you why. And by the way, I'm not changing anything.
It's a league in live. This is what happens.
I'm not changing anything. This is
already.
what's happening.
It's not even started yet, and Luke's getting in your ear. This is what happens every time.
To me. Luke's not said anything.
Integrity of the league has been compromised already.
No, this is in the name of fairness. Because other people have until 8 p.m. tomorrow night, and we've extended the invitation.
Ashley, we're doing a podcast. Oh, sorry. Well, you're in it now, so...
Sorry.
Well, you're going to keep that in.
No.
Yes.
Cut me out. I don't want to be in it.
No, you're not being cut out. You're in it.
Oh, piss off. Come on, Charlie.
Good microphone, though, isn't it? He's picked all that up.
Sorry. He was hiding behind the mirror.
Right, go away.
Bye.
Sorry.
Mrs. O'Meara there with a quick feature. Let's right, listen. In the interest of fairness, everyone else has until 8 p.m. tomorrow night, Friday night, to make this decision. In the maintaining the integrity of the league, I'm not changing any of my decisions. But I'm opening it up because, for example, if Bellingham gets injured in training tonight, it's unfair of me to have to stick with Bellingham for the rest of the tournament. So that's the way it is, and I'm opening it up to you two if you want to make any decisions. It'd be interesting to know if either of you two. Sorry, I didn't even introduce who was here. Scott and Liam are here.
Hello.
Liam O'Meara and Scott Naylor are here, back in the room. Right. So
I can change my predictions now.
If you would like to.
Yeah, I probably will do. I'll send them to you on the quiet. I have done some extra research, and I was the underdog team. I've now got a new team that I would probably wouldn't have swapped, but now that you're saying I can, I will. I'll probably keep Okafor a striker. I'm pretty comfortable with that decision, but I'm probably going to change my team now.
You don't fancy Romania?
Underdog team, and I may change my. Yeah, I'm probably going to change a couple. I'm probably going to change two now.
That's fine. Scott, what I was going to ask you, is there anyone else in the couple of weeks since we last recorded, is there anyone who's sort of caught your eye who you think, you might want to change any of your selections to? Is there anything else that might have cropped up?
There has been, but I almost don't want to partake in this chicanery. All I'm seeing is Liam and I missed an illicit deal has been done, either on or off air. Liam and I will probably never know. And
I will know. I'd listened to all the podcasts, so I will know.
You'll both know. Obviously, your sense of any editing and production values have gone out the window here, and we could have just done this nice and smoothly, and you both already knew. But it was sprung upon Luke. Luke had no idea either.
I had no idea.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that for 1 second.
Luke has been lobbying this for about 3 weeks. Every time someone's putting any kind of thing in the group, it's, well, I need to change mine. It's not fair. It's not fair. But Luke probably doesn't even want to change. He probably won't even change them. It's just the idea that he can't change them is warping his mind.
I'm changing all four.
Really?
All four.
The only thing I would change is my underdog team, because as I said the other day, I like Serbia's team. Got a good team on paper. So that's the only thing I can think of. But otherwise, I want to be the only one who maintains a shred of integrity.
No, I'm not changing. I'm not changing.
Second person who maintains his integrity. No, in fact, you're the organizer and you change the rules. You're the most corrupt of all set.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I also will be changing, and I will message. I will be changing though, and I know exactly who I'm going for already. With both of them.
We did both speak about Portugal. Spain was mentioned. I like Serbia a little bit because I underestimated their attack. But like I say, I'm keeping with.
There's going to be 4 Serbias, isn't there? Is that what's going to happen here now?
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not
4
changing.
Serbias, and we're
I'm
all
not
having
changing.
Vlahovic as the top scorer.
Oh, I won't be going. If you're going Mitrovic or Vlahovic, surely you're going Mitrovic over Vlahovic, aren't you? Surely.
I think Vlahovic is better.
Yeah, but Mitrovic scores about 1,000 goals a season.
He does, yeah. Against in that level of opposition as well, he'll probably score about 100. You're right.
Right. Anyway, announcement out of the way. Me and Luke were professionally and casually discussing the England lineup potentially for Sunday with only Shaw out. I personally think that Southgate has already picked that 11 with his squad numbers. I think that's going to be it, minus Shaw for Trippier. Liam, do you agree, and do you like the centre-back pairing that there's got at the moment, which would be Stones and Gahey?
I think it's the best of a bad bunch, to be completely honest. So shame Ben White didn't want to play for England, because I think he probably would have been playing in this. He probably would have started at centre back, I think, or maybe even in midfield. So I think that is a shame. I don't think now that the team is completely set. I've got another theory now. I think Wharton will start. I think he's going to play Wharton as a complete defensive midfielder and allow Rice and Bellingham to have the freedom of it. I think that is what he will do. I think he won't risk Trent Alexander-Arnold in that position. I think he'll likes him off the bench, and he's more likely to use him as a right back off the bench, because he was brilliant in that Icing game when he came on and actually played right back. He would completely change the game. So I think having that option in both positions is more useful. And for me, Trent Alexander-Arnold could do the Bellingham role if Bellingham's not available. So I think having that option on the bench is better than starting Wharton. So I actually think he's going to do that now.
But this sort of echoes a little bit what I was saying, isn't it? Say Southgate does start with that starting 11, which is basically 1 to 11 in the squad numbers, which would be Trent next to Rice in the midfield. But I think if that doesn't work, and especially with Serbia probably being our hardest game in this group, that Southgate is going to have to make a decision and probably pull Trent out. Is that what would you agree with Liam though, and probably putting Wharton in, or maybe Gallagher? I don't really know. I'm just someone maybe less, like I say to Luke, probably less sexy than having Trent in there.
It's hard for me to not try and put myself in Southgate's shoes, because I wouldn't have Trent anywhere near that. I think he's a disaster waiting to happen. But I think he will try and shoehorn him in some way. I would like Liam's prediction to be true, because I like Adam Wharton. And I think he is somebody who could really stand out for us at this tournament. And I think if you do need a defensive presence to allow Bellingham and Rice to do what it is that they do, I think he's probably the best, or perhaps the only option that we've really got. If you're not going to play Rice as that defensive midfielder, he's really the only other option that we've got, because Gallagher can't do it. Nobody else, and Trent certainly can't do it. So I would be all for that. That would actually be my preference, I think. So I think Liam's on something good there.
Luke, do you think that there's a lot of pressure on Rice in the midfield? We spoke about how good he is, and he's had a great season. He's had a great couple seasons. But do you think there's a lot of pressure on him to cover a lot of ground in that park to probably make up for people like, Trent going missing, or Gallagher at times, or whatever?
Well, if his role's the sixth position, yeah, there's going to be massive pressure on him. It's I don't know. I can't figure out what Southgate's going to do. If I was Southgate, I'd just go all attack. To be honest, just thought, fuck it, last tournament, shoe on all the attackers in. We'll go for 2 at the back and 8 up front.
You don't need Kyle Walker at the back these days. Just Kyle Walker and Stones, and then get them all in. Gordon, Palmer, Tony, chuck them all in.
I think pressure wise, I think Bellingham's had the big hype before the tournament. He's just won Champions League as well. I think there's more pressure on him to kind of.
It's embarrassing. It's
come on the
embarrassing
world
what we're doing.
stage.
I know Scott's feelings on Bellingham, but Liam, are you concerned that Bellingham may have hit a wall, not in terms of form, because that can be rediscovered, especially how young he is and how talented he is, but the sort of the adrenaline of that first big season at Real Madrid, winning the Champions League, winning the La Liga, having that time off in between, and there's just that feel like the adrenaline drop off of such a heavy season. Do you think that could play at all?
Maybe in the first 2 or 3 games, yeah. Maybe in the first 2 or 3 games there is a potential for that. But I think, should England get through, and hopefully they do, then I think the intensity of those games and the feeling around them, because this is a Euros in Germany, it's going to be, those games are going to be hugely attended by England fans. It's going to feel like an England home game every game abroad. So it's going to be a really vociferous atmosphere as England particularly progress. And that second round game's potentially going to be Italy or Spain. So that's a big, big game, particularly if you get Spain for him. So I think that will, if there's an adrenaline issue, I think it will go by the knockouts.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. Scott, what else are you feeling about this tournament so far? Are you excited for it? Are you apprehensive? Title of this episode is going to be "It's Coming Home?" ? So, question to you is it coming home?
No, it is not.
Is that a confident no, or just a reluctant no?
No, I think it's a confident no, because I just don't think we are good enough in all areas of the pitch to bring it home. I don't know how we can be favourites. We don't have a left back. One position is completely empty, and yet we're favourites. I just don't understand how that's possible. It's and I also don't think that we have a manager who has the balls to do what needs to be done in the big moments. And I think he will, as we saw in the last Euro final, I think he will let us down, because that's just what he does. So yeah, I just don't think we're strong enough. I think there's a lot of we do have a lot of talent on paper, we do, but I just think as an overall team, as an overall squad together, I just don't think we're going to have enough to do it. I just think we're going to be too weak at the back. I think the best in some positions that we have is really not good enough. Goalkeeper being one, all through the back line being, you could hit, well documented our issues at the back. So yeah, I don't know where this confidence comes from that we're going to do so well.
Scott, can I counter what you've just said there in regards to you don't think this team's strong enough? Do you not think we've got players in positions that probably are one of the best in the world at?
In fairness,
maybe.
yeah, we've got the best player in Bundesliga, best player in Premier League, best player in La Liga, all in the.
Who's the best player in the Bundesliga? Harry Kane.
Harry Kane.
Well, he wasn't. He was top scorer, but that's fine. It was Wirtz. But anyway, I agree with Scott's concerns about England. The problem England have is, yes, they have fantastic players, but they also have real glaring weaknesses that France don't have at all.
Yeah.
And I think that's the challenge. So I think when we talk about England being favourites, I struggle with that a little bit. I agree with Scott. I think they're a very strong team that can win it, because they are one of, I think, 3 or 4 teams that can win it. But favourites, not even close to France for me.
I agree.
So, Liam,
I agree. We don't have the best player in La Liga anyway. That's a lie.
Liam, same question to you. Is it coming home?
No, unfortunately. It can do, but if you were asking me what do I think will happen, is I think France will win it, because they are the best team. But can it come home? Yes, it absolutely can come home, and I hope it does. But, if it doesn't come home, it doesn't mean it was a complete failure, because we don't have a great defence, and that's just a fact that we seem to not want to talk about. But Stones, in my opinion, despite this season that he had last year where he became this sort of world-beating thing, I've never rated him as a defender, to be completely honest. And Guardiola hasn't for about 70% of the time. Guardiola's managed City, and he's our best defender. So, no, I don't think it's coming home, unfortunately. I think Scott's going to ram this point home for me as well.
Yeah, I think the big story is, Stones is out with illness, and what's going to happen if Stones doesn't play. And if it worries me that we're so concerned that John Stones is fit and available. If that is our big headache, and that's the big thing that's going to, cast us asunder, or whatever the term is, that ain't good. If John Stones is the best we've got, I'm not saying he's bad, but when you're talking elite, top level, winning international trophies, it's not a good look for England. I don't think, if that's the best we can do.
Right, just me then. It's coming on.
It's coming on.
Again, as I've said, I'll always go with my heart over my head. Liam, you're right. France are the best team for me. The best squad.
And the manager that wins in international football as well.
Yeah.
Both as a player and manager, understands international football.
You're right. I mean, all the points are valid. They're all the concerns that all England fans have. This inner monologue with themselves. We're just emptying our thoughts.
It's not. It is what it is. Like, it's not England's fault France are good. Like, half the footballing world's in Paris. So, like, of course, like, they have a strong team. It just, England should have beat them in the World Cup quarterfinals. They were unlucky not to. So, they're beatable. I mean, Germany beat them a month ago in France. So, they are beatable, but they are the best team. So, that's it.
Right, and me and Luke had a little chat earlier, but kicking off the Euros tonight, as this episode goes out, 8 p.m, Germany v Scotland. Do either of you see anything other than a massive resounding victory for Germany?
Well, I'm reluctant to say anything on this because someone's not locked in their score yet. So I know a lot about these two teams, but I'm now reluctant to speak about it as I'm concerned that someone on here hasn't locked his scoring yet and would be benefiting off of my really researched view on this game and my knowledge of Scottish football, which is actually quite good. And I would hate to the benefit. So if Luke's prepared to give a prediction before I talk, then I'm more than happy to tell you what score I think this is going to be.
Who said I'm not sent the scoring, Liam? What wild accusations?
Is he locked in, Martin?
No. Listen, that was a lovely, mini episode featurette of Liam versus Luke back again for another week.
Okay, let's talk Germany Scotland then. Let's do other people's research for them
very quickly, and let's wrap it up.
So, Scotland are really in trouble with the injury to Lyndon Dykes because he was essentially their out-and-out forward. They do have other options. Shankland at Hearts and Che Adams of Southampton, but they are not the same. And Adams, who they probably will go for, isn't blessed with goals, obviously, which we've seen in the Premier League. So they are going to rely heavily on midfielders bombing forward. But similar to Germany in that sense, who are going, looks like, to start with Havertz up front rather than Fulkrug. So they're going to play very similar systems with reliance on the midfield. So I'm not expecting loads and loads of goals, but I'm not expecting Scotland to lay a glove on them either. So I've gone 2-0 to Germany in this. I'm happy to announce that to Luke as start turning in his head.
Before anyone else says it, my score was locked in a long time ago. I've got 3-0. Scott, you see anything else other than a big Germany win?
No, not at all. I think Scotland are going to get hammered quite convincingly. And I'm going to go for a solid 4-0 victory. Because they're the host team. They're the host team as well. Like they're just, Scotland are terrible. Let's not mince words. They're shocking. And Germany are at home. And Germany aren't the Germany that we, grew up, with in terms of quality through the squad. But you still got Musiala, Leroy Sané, Kimmich. You got some top players, and I just can't see a world where Scotland do anything but roll over and get smashed.
Luke, wrap us up. Give us your score.
What did Liam say? 2-0?
No, you give us your score.
I'll go for the same score Liam put and say 2-0 Germany.
Liam
He's
doesn't
so
say
concerned
2-0
with what
Germany.
Liam's doing. He's so concerned.
He's done all the research. Why not copy him?
Maybe it's not right.
It isn't right. Listen, again, wonderful part 2 featurette from Liam versus Luke. Enthralling as always. Have to have a breakaway podcast of these two just fucking, what's it called? Passive aggressive undertones all the way through each comment. So, boys, the Euros is here.
It's finally here.
It's exciting. The Euro Predictor League is here. This is the final call. Everyone's got until 8 p.m. Friday night to let us know. Comment, subscribe to the channel, and let us know that you're interested and you could join along and probably win some cash or pay Luke some cash or Liam some cash, whichever one wins, because it'll be one of them too.
I am.
Scrub it.
I want to remind everyone that I am the defending Euros champion of the Predictor League.
Yeah, correct. But I'm very excited. International football is the best. I think England are going to do very well. I think we're going to win, but I didn't say
I
that
hope so.
very confidently.
I do hope so.
Yeah, that would be nice. We all agree that would be nice.
Listen, boys, it's here. Let's get everyone involved. Everyone, please go and subscribe to the channel and get involved. Give us a comment, and we'll get in touch if you want to join in with us. Go to the website www.fixingfootballpodcast.com. You can find out all that information. Liam, Luke, Scott, thank you very much. Let's have a good tournament. I'll catch you all soon.
Yeah.
It's
See you
coming
soon.
home.